All right, welcome everyone. We got another very special guest today on the Coin Rivet podcast. This is episode number 9. We got Manig Loeser here, high stakes crusher, all around great guy. Manig, thank you for the time. How are you?
I'm doing well. How about you, Jeff?
I'm good. It looks dark where you are. We're in different parts of the world. I appreciate you taking the time and scheduling this. Where are you exactly, and what's going on?
I'm in Dubai right now, where I spent quite a lot of time here. A lot of friends moved recently. Really enjoying it. Just came back from like 2 months in Colombia as well, so it's quite a different world here, but it's really nice. That's really nice.
That's awesome. Yeah, tell me. It's something I want to understand because Dubai seems like a lot of places that in Europe, it's one of the nicer places I hear. People just say, I think with COVID, they were pretty laxed on restrictions and whatnot. But could you maybe give us a little bit of a feel why you spend time there and why people why that seems to be like a European hotspot? Is it the food? Is it the nightlife? What's so great about Dubai?
Um, yeah, all of that. The food is probably the best in the world, I would say. That's a big point.
Wow, really?
Um, I do spend a lot of time here I'm building some businesses as well, and so mainly like crypto stuff. Um, there's a ton of crypto people here. It's the biggest hotspot for crypto, I'd say. It's just overall like a super nice place. It's like I was so skeptical at first when I came here the first time because I thought I'm gonna hate it, but
Right.
I'm really loving it. Like the COVID situation that you mentioned. I don't think any other country handled this like close as good as Dubai did. They just sure you can argue about vaccination and stuff as much as you want, but like I think the cases here are really low, and there's no mask mandatory anymore in most places, and everything has been open pretty much throughout. There has been a really short lockdown, but if you compare it, sorry, with UK, where I spent like a few months in lockdown, it was insane. It really didn't handle it well, I don't think. So yeah, I was happy to spend a lot of time here.
And so tell me, you too, you're back now. I mean, the COVID sort of is subsiding, at least overall, it seems, in the world of live poker starting to gear up. Tell me about your upcoming plans. I know you got an exciting schedule lined up here.
Right. So I haven't been playing many tourneys at all. Basically any since Cyprus a few months ago or so, and I'm going to Monte Carlo in 2 days. I'm really excited. One of my favorite stops, not just because I was running well there, but also it's a really nice casino. It's a nice hotel, very cool area, and yeah, so it's really great. Just like I'm really excited to see everyone there. That's been my main reason. Um, it's just so many people coming out that I haven't seen in a while. Now that's picking up again. Everyone's getting excited for Vegas already, which is also only like like a month and a half or something away. So yeah, really excited for Monaco. Gonna play a lot of tourneys there, maybe some cash games, and just hang out with everyone.
And can you break down like what's your overall sort of pie chart of poker right now? Like in general, do you like to play more tournaments or cash games? I mean, we can take a look over. You're a very humble gentleman, I must say. I love watching you play. I love your game. I love how you carry yourself. Over $11 million in earnings with only 2 million best score. Can see how many that shows you how you're on there. You're grinding. You're playing all the different stuff. I mean, you really it's crazy too. You'll throw in different buy-ins, and it seems like you just love the game. What do you now do more of, cash games or tournaments in general? Would you say you make up most of your game?
So for me, it always used to be like basically 50-50. I always loved cash games. I started with cash games, but I also loved tournaments. So often I would play like a tournament, and when I bust, I would go straight to the cash games, or even after bagging sometimes. So it was pretty even, I would say. And now I'm switching a lot more to cash games. I'm just enjoying it a lot more. Also, like obviously in the beginning, I was trying to make a lot of money and grind as much as possible, and now it's not so important to me anymore. It's more about like really enjoying myself at the game, and I think that's more the case for me in cash games than the tournaments lately, at least.
And is the evolution of poker? I mean, we see some debate about RTA and what's going on with the game, where people it's moving more almost like chess or backgammon, where like obviously people are aware there are spots, or people understand like there is a proper GTO strategy. But is it fair to say that poker is so exploitative. Like even if you have 30 guys in a high stakes tournament, they're all very good. It's still fun because like you have to take the information, he knows, but you got to, play the player. And even if a player plays GTO very well, they're still going to have different parts of their game, right? How they approach it, how they think about it. People don't play the exact same way. Could you maybe speak a little bit about this and why poker's so fun to you, and how maybe someone who's thinking about the game becoming solved, it's not really like that, especially live. Could you maybe speak about that, how that works, GTO versus exploitative, and why you think the game is in good shape, if you do think that, if you think it's in good shape?
I'm not sure in how good of a shape it is. It's an interesting discussion. I'm talking to a lot of people about it. Obviously, it changed so much. Like both you and I, like when you think back when you started playing poker, how different it was. Like to think about the spots, and it's like you would discuss for hours about different sizings and reasons for why you did what you did. And nowadays, you just like put it in a computer, or at least in high stakes. And it's just changed so much. And I think that's one of the reasons why I didn't enjoy it so much anymore. Like last year, a lot of people asked me why I didn't play the Aria high rollers and stuff, basically at all. And I don't know. I just didn't enjoy it so much anymore. Like not only are people getting insanely good, and they're probably outstudying me by a large margin, because I haven't really been using any programs to study lately. It's just not so fun to me anymore. It's just... I don't know how to describe it. The kind of thrill from the beginning of poker is a little bit gone. But then when I play, like, I don't know, like let's say EPT Monte Carlo main event or something, I'm enjoying it so much. There's so many like people and that you haven't played before, and you really like. It's a lot about like live reads, and this kind of stuff makes it so enjoyable to me. Instead of just playing the same 30 people every day, and basically gaining like a tiny edge when you're studying hours and hours for one spot. So I'm not sure. It was a long explanation, but overall,
I think it's perfect. And there is some discussions on RTA and what's happening. Do you think this is maybe overblown, or just something that's been going on? And you have to understand when you're playing online, high stakes and stuff, there are going to be people, there are going to be some bad actors or such. Like, what do you think about the health of online poker? And, also it sounds like the sites are really combating it. They have technology softwares. They're aware of it. They have banned accounts. Like they're keeping an eye on it. So kind of what's your overall thought on this? And how do you, when you play high stakes, right, online, and how do you sort of understand this? Like, is it just something you just assume is happening some and you don't mind, or, you assume that the sites are doing their best to combat it? And could you speak a little bit on this issue and online?
I do put a lot of trust in the site owners and people that are combating it right now, even more so than I did before. I personally haven't played in a long time in any high stakes tournaments online. I did, I had a lot of other stuff going on, and also just didn't feel like playing so much. And then obviously, if you think about that, you don't know who's playing on which account sometimes, and there's a lot of shady stuff like that going on. I just stayed out of it. I didn't play at all. I do think it's a little bit overblown. I mean, in the high stakes, maybe not. Like in the, whatever's happening on GG. I mean, there's so much coming out. I haven't been super involved. As I said, I've been reading up a lot on it, on the tweets, and there's so much going on at the same time right now. I'd be careful. Let's just put it like that. I'd be careful playing a high stakes online right now as a recreational. And that's obviously a bad thing, because like they should enjoy themselves, and they shouldn't be worried about getting cheated. I hope something like the blacklists and stuff is happening, and it's going to improve the situation for everyone.
Yeah, for sure. I again, that's the biggest thing. It's just like anything. I think it is cat and mouse, right? It's like there's people doing bad stuff in any industry. I mean, you see this in business, you see this there's rules, there's regulations, and people are. I think the sites are doing the best, and it sounds like overall, I think it is maybe a bit overblown. It's one of those things when you hear about it, it seems so intense and bad, but because there's some people doing it, but like there's also been people that got caught. People are getting taken care of, and I mean, listen, online poker, you have to expect to some degree. There's some forms of people doing something not, exactly as they should, right? And that's up to the sites, like you're saying, to police it. You mentioned crypto. You mentioned a bit about in Dubai. I think Miami in the U.S. is becoming a very big hotbed. A lot of crypto stuff. Dubai is as you're mentioning, a lot of stuff going there. Can we get a price prediction for you? We like to do this on the Coin Rivet podcast because I'm gonna take the guess at the end of the year. We're gonna have a guess, and obviously it gets a little maybe easier. Like either it's so volatile though, but as it goes along, right? We're already in late April, man. This year's flying by. But give me your price prediction for January 2023 for Bitcoin and Ethereum. Let's do that. And Bitcoin looks like took a little hit to start the day. It just moves, man. It's fun, right? Just sweat every day. It's like it moves around a lot. So it's at 38.6 and Ethereum's at 28.69. Where is it going to land January 1, 2023?
I'm very optimistic for the end of the year and beginning of next year. I'm going to go 74,500 for Bitcoin and 4,900 for Ethereum.
Okay, those are strong. Those are good numbers. We're gonna lock those in. That's an official guess from Manig right here. And I don't know what the prize is gonna be, but we're gonna come up with something because we're making guesses. We're gonna see where everyone's at, and I love it. We've got a lot of answers. We got a lot of different a wide range, and it's all fun. So okay, we got that locked in. And what about NFTs, man? I know we spoke on my podcast on this a while ago. It's been a while. I don't even know when this was, but you rocking the CryptoPunk. I got a CryptoPunk as my avatar. What's your feelings on NFTs right now? Are you strong? Are you bullish? Have you kind of worn down a bit from like the excitement of it because it's now kind of everywhere and whatever? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm still loyal to the punks. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
That hasn't been predictable, at least not to me. I didn't expect it to go the way it went. But I still like the punks especially, and then some other projects, and I'm very, very passionate about it. I really enjoy the NFT world. There's so many whenever I'm having a dinner here with new people, it's like it comes up and you talk to someone and then meet someone that has his own project basically every time. It's just so, I think it's going to be like so big. Obviously it could go to zero any day. I mean, I might just be wrong, but I am very optimistic, and I really enjoy it. There's, again, as you mentioned in business and poker, there's always like bad actors. There's a lot of scams. Got to be really careful about like whatever link you're clicking, who you're trusting, who you're doing business with. There's a lot of bad stuff. But overall, I think there's some really strong communities. Like we talked about the World of Women. I'm still like a huge fan just of the team, how they've been handling all airdrops, how they've been handling the roadmap, and how they've been sticking to what they said they would do, unlike some other projects. So yeah, those projects that keep on doing the good stuff, I'm very bullish on.
Yeah, it is hard, right? It seems like it's one of those things too, where it's just kind of the most common phrase and term people throw around and talk about NFTs and crypto and blockchain, just kind of thrown around. So I think that's a good way to put it. And you got to be careful because it's just like everyone's kind of trying to do it or says no one's really an expert. This is such a new area that it's just kind of, I think everyone's learning and trying to do their best. Hopefully most people are doing their best. And what about the main event or the WSOP this year? It's going to be at Bally's. It's going to be different. Are you excited? Do you think it'll be better, new, different, or just are you good with the change?
I really don't know. I mean, I'm always staying at the Cosmo when I'm in Vegas, so it's not so far from the Bally's. Which like if I had a car and would live further away, I think it might be like a bit of a problem to go over the strip every day and get parking and stuff. I don't know. It could be an issue at least, but I'm not worried about that. And then the location, I mean, I like. It's not like the Rio was fancy or nice, but I think it was a good location for WSOP. And but I also think they're gonna do a good job this year. So I don't think that much is going to change. And I'm excited to see everyone. I'm not gonna. I mean, I used to go for the entire time every year since I started basically, and I might just do like a few weeks now around the main, or maybe go there. And I have a place in Tulum now as well, so maybe do like a few weeks there with my friends, and then come back for the main event or something like that. I'm not gonna grind the entire series, but yeah, pretty excited. Looking forward to the summer like every year.
Well, and I mean, you are a World Series bracelet winner now, and you, in a mysterious way, you got it right. We were talking about this. This is, out of all the tournaments you play, I can't remember if you had a second or a third or some deep runs. I know you've had some big scores before, but to actually win your bracelet, here it was. You get it online in the $600 WSOP online. Tell me about that? Can you? Because we talked about this before on my podcast, but it's always fun to relive a bracelet win. So give us just like kind of how this happened. I think you were were you in the Cosmo when you won that?
Yeah. As you said, I had how many? Like at least 2 seconds, a few thirds. One of them was like a chop where I had them all in like 5 times. Like I felt like I was so close, so many times, and it just never worked. And I really like it wasn't about the money at all. Like we barely. I don't even know if we played for anything. I think we only played for the bracelet basically because he offered like a really, really fair chop, maybe like a few K. I really, really wanted to get that off my bucket list, and that it happens online was obviously really weird. And then also like the series where you had to be in Vegas to play it. It's just, it was a weird one, but I was really happy to finally get it done. I still want the live one though. And like I want like one of this prestigious, like a 10K 6 max or something. That would be fun.
Yeah.
In Rosvadov, for example, I got like second in what was it, like a short deck 2500 or something, but it had so few runners. Like it didn't feel like a real one to me for some reason. Like even the online.
It's. I mean, I guess it's tricky. It is tricky. I guess. I don't know. There's a debate on that. I would say, look, winning a bracelet is cool. Obviously, I think live is it's great, but like you said, there's different. Online, you could argue is even tougher to win. Maybe some tougher players, and winning a 40-person live mixed event in a European one or something versus winning a 700 entries. Has 300 re-entries in a field it's not easy to win. And Patrick Leonard made this thing about trophies. Like, I think it's cool too. Like, it's I feel like online, for over maybe X amount, like anytime it's whatever, sites, I guess they run so many tournaments, it would get tiresome. But you remember on Full Tilt, I'm sure you play back in the day, they would give you a t-shirt every time you knock it out. Like, they should give a trophy. Like, that would be more, fun. Like, even if you're a grinder and you got like 100 trophies, after a year or two from like the big 22 and whatever, right? These different things. It's kind of fun to win and do that. I think that's one of the things that sites could do more is make some trophies and rings and stuff, because it is fun to win and kind of celebrate victories, because it's hard to win. It's hard to win a poker tournament, no matter what it is. Actually being the last one standing is not easy. How many, like, for the WSOP, have you already mapped out your whole schedule? Do you know, like, do you know what you're going to play, or did you kind of just go day by day, or for the week you look at it and say, okay, I'm definitely going to play this, and work it around that way? How do you go about your schedule?
I actually have zero clue, honestly, right now, what I'm going to play. There's also, as I said, I'm playing a lot of cash games, so I would always take, like, if I get an invite to a fun game in Vegas, at the same time as like a small WSOP tournament or something, I would always take the cash game. I'm just gonna be super spontaneous about everything. I'm gonna play like the fun ones, but I'm not gonna like map out a schedule. I used to do that when I was younger. When I went to Vegas, I had like a plan exactly what I would play, and if I bust, I would play the next one at the Venetian or something else. But yeah, nowadays I don't really do that anymore. I'm just gonna be spontaneous how I feel like, and if something else comes up, I would even like not play that day or something. So it's not like it used to be for me.
For sure. And Monaco coming up. This is the you won the actual main event, the No Limit Hold'em EPT main event. So this is I knew you won an EPT. I didn't realize it was here. So I mean, it's got to feel good, right? Kind of, you feel like there's something about a home court or like a turf where you just run well. Certain stops. I'm sure you at some point you've played the series, the circuit for years, but when you actually win, I mean, it's just got to be like you walk in, you're like, all right, yeah, I know I can win here. I know it's good. Tell me about returning to Monaco and how special was that, winning that EPT?
It's funny how that goes, right? It shouldn't make a difference really, but like you're still. I'm so excited about it just because I had so many good memories of like my friends being on the rail and we are like celebrating, and every day it was so long. It was I think the final table was 16-17 hours or something.
Wow.
It's just like so much going on. and it was like the 6th day of the tournament. I might be mixing up numbers here or something, but it was a very long tournament.
16-hour final table. That's crazy. How long was the heads up?
I don't think the heads up was so long. I think it was like 5-handed. No one busted for like 5-6 hours or something.
Oh my god, that's crazy. That's a grind. That really is. That's intense, right? And that's where the ICM is the largest, sort of towards that juncture, as you know, final, just before the final table or at the final as it starts. What was there? I know that I remember Ryan Reese had a pretty epic hand, and maybe I was against you when he called with 10 high. Was that right? Was that?
He owned me pretty hard. Yes, he called me with 10 high and was right.
Well, I mean, I'd say it worked out fine. It was just one of those spots where you have to make. I think I don't remember the hand exactly, but that was definitely a cool hand, and you know, it made sense why he did it. But still, it's not easy, right, to call with 10 high, no matter how many chips you have left.
Yeah, like, I mean, I was well aware that like I'm getting heroed like a lot. It's like not a spot where I can wrap a lot of value hands, but it's still like tough to call off 5 left in the EPT, where you maybe think you have an edge on all of the players. I don't know what he's thinking. Then it's really tough to call off your stack, even if you're really, really sure about being right. So yeah, props to him.
Yeah, and actually, in theory, he, as you can see, I mean, you guys did make a deal and then played for the title, which is cool. But like, so I mean, that was, you know, you said like 5-handed. He's basically, so he makes a great call. He stays in, and it was right there. I mean, it's like $300,000. It's a lot of buy-ins, 5K buy-in to sort of bubble where you're very close to a deal. Was that something 4-way? Was there a deal discussed and he maybe just didn't work out, or was it like when it hit 3-handed? You know, could you maybe explain a bit about deals? Actually, it's fascinating because there's like the art of the deal making, right? Like what things that you consider when you're you know, looking at this list. I don't know these other 2 names. Now, they could be world-class players for all I know. Who knows, right? Pandemic, everything's happening. But in terms of experience, like there's no question that you're the most experienced player there. So what is going through your head, and what things do you consider when to make a deal? And how did this one come up?
Yeah, it's funny that you asked about this one because it was like a super weird one. By far the weirdest one I've ever experienced. It was like, I don't think we talked about it 4-handed. And then 3-handed. So basically, the guy who got second is an amateur, and he also like he didn't like he said so, like he didn't pretend not to be. And the other guy was like a high stakes online player who never really played live. And so the guy from China, he really wanted to deal, and I said no, I don't want to deal. Like I would have to ask for like so much over ICM because I think I have a really big edge here. So let's just play instead. And he was saying, no, like I'm gonna be like super generous. Let's talk about numbers. I'm gonna give up like a lot of EV just to get this over with because it was like such a long final table, and he probably was exhausted. Right. And Victor, the other guy, also said like, okay, yeah, let's look at the numbers. They were kind of pressuring me, and I said like from the beginning, like I think it's unlikely that deal is happening because I really think I'm just gonna win it pretty often. Right. And then we've been like discussing, and obviously, like I asked for like a lot of money, basically over ICM, and the Chinese guy said basically that he's agreeing to everything, and Victor also said yes, cool. You like to me that I get like a lot more money, and they're like basically they're splitting like who pays what, and then the Chinese guy pays more of the money to me, and I said okay, yeah, sure. I mean, if you guys want to do that, then that's fine. And then, like as soon as we wanted to sign, Victor said, like, "Oh no, I want 10K more." Like, it was really completely out of the blue, and it's all on camera too. Like, it was because they were filming us for like the entire deal discussion, which is also new to me. I didn't know they're doing that. But I was very clear about what I wanted, and he was agreeing. And then Victor said, like, although he already agreed, said like, "No, I want 10K more." Just I said like, okay, yeah, fuck it, let's just play. I'm not gonna like spend any more time on that.
Wait. So the deal was set here. Everyone agreed, and then this guy Victor, who's a more competent player but doesn't have a lot of live experience, just says after it's done and it's ready to be done, he goes, "I want 10K more." And then
pretty much, yeah.
You said,
I don't know what exactly, if it was like a handshake. I don't think we shook hands yet or something, but like it was pretty much agreed upon. I would say.
But so what happened then? Did you say okay, whatever, let's just end it, or you said no, we're gonna play then?
I said he was making like an argument, like he was all of a sudden he got really weird, like he was super respectful, and he said something like, "No, I play like heads up online, like I have an edge on you, like what did you do or something?" Like I was okay. Let's just play. Like, let's not waste more like camera time. I felt bad for the camera team too because they were standing there. Like,
How long? Tell me, 10 minutes, 30 minutes? How long?
No, there was like an hour or something.
Oh,
it was like
wow.
insanely long.
Right.
They
I mean, it's
kept
a
on
lot of
arguing.
money to be fair, but yeah, at some point, like you said, there's a whole crew. There's a lot of people there, and they must be like, man, this is crazy too, right? Like the commentate, everyone. So yeah, people at home maybe watching. I don't know if it's live or not or delayed, but yeah. So then what happened? How did it get resolved?
Yeah, I think what happened basically, like I got like I didn't get mad or anything, but I was like weird that he was wasting all the time, and then like told me like tried to make an argument like why I should agree or why I should give some of the money that the Chinese guy wanted to give me to him. I don't know what he exactly like expected, but it was really weird. And then I think what happened is like just the other guy said like I give you like 5K or maybe even like the whole 10K from his stack. So we made the deal then, and I think Victor got like a tiny bit more, if I remember correctly. I don't know. I got what I wanted, and then they settled the rest, and then we played for I can't remember some money, and the trophy basically, just for first. Like it was 300, and we only like the first place got more.
Wow, that's so intense. I mean, the deal making stuff's wild. Like I've seen scenarios. There are scenarios too where you can get literally more than first place money when you're like 5-handed or 4-handed. Like in these scenarios, and the energy is really funny because like you said, you can probably feel it right away. I mean, when they're asking for the deal, when they're sort of desperate in a way, like they don't mind giving up 10, 20, 30K in equity or 40K when they're just like, man, I want to like look at, I mean, well, I forget, it's kind of hard to tell exactly, but looking at the payouts, like, yeah, third might have been what, like 320 or 350. So, from his standpoint of getting like an extra 200 when you could go out third, I mean, that's real meat on the bone. And is that your criteria on deals? Like, because sometimes obviously there's the skill. Someone, let's say it's like Makita or a buddy of yours or someone really good. You might just be like, all right, we'll just take whatever exactly ICM is. Is that how you weigh it out? You just kind of think you have to do a calculation in your head on how big an advantage you think you have, and then go from there.
Right. I think like overall I got I can't remember all the heads up, but there's a lot of people that are better at heads up than me. And so when I had like when they offered me like even chop or ICM chop or whatever, and I think they're better than me, obviously I would snap that. And then also like friends, even like if I'm better or they're better, like we would probably just even chop and maybe like flip for the trophy or something. That happens a lot. But if there's more than one person and I think I have an edge or something, I would never take like an even chop. Because it's just like the experience plays a big part when playing for a lot of money, I think. Not just like being money scared, but also like having been in that spot before, I think helps just so much. And then like closing it out and not, I don't know, being scared. I think overall I got really good deals in my life in my favor. I think I think like Elio Fox, I think was the only one who I ever paid, who I didn't get like at least ICM. I think because I thought he was at the time, I thought he was so good, like a lot better than me. And I think I offered, I can't remember exactly what it was, but I think he got like a little bit more. But I got the trophy because I was chip leader, so I was happy.
Yeah, I mean that's the trophy. So can you also in this scenario? So when you make the deal and you get the most money, like in the EPT, it's like you have to play out. You can't agree and be like, look, I want here. We take the money and you guys like go out. You still have to play. Like there's no like agreement that someone's gonna like bow out and you get the trophy, because obviously winning an EPT title, winning a WSOP, winning a party, any of these major series titles, they're massive, right? Like the trophy, I'm sure, is worth a lot to you too, just to have like to have that. You worked, you beat 920 people. Now there's 3 left, and the money's amazing, that ROI, but you want the trophy. So how does that work? You have to play it out, or can they agree and just give it to you?
It depends on the series. I think like WSOP doesn't allow deals at all, so maybe I should have mentioned. But like obviously you can do like there's stuff that's happening. It's not official. EPT is very official. As I said, like the camera throwing, like they put in the exact number that I won after the deal. They didn't put me as like first winning the amount that I was like that first was to be in the first place. I think the rule EPT, I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's like you have to play for 50K and the trophy. I think it's the rule. So they don't want to like destroy the TV experience, obviously, and I get it. I think it's good. Yeah, I don't think you can just chop and give someone a trophy in EPTs, as far as I know. I remember some spots, Aussie Million, maybe remember on some others, where the person who wasn't chip leader like made a deal to get the trophy, which I think is like a little bit weird. Obviously, you can do whatever you want, like it doesn't matter. But I don't think like you should like buy the trophy. I also like I'm not talking about someone specific here, but like it happens obviously sometimes where you like or like let's say you even like offer someone more money to get the trophy. I think it's like kind of weird.
Yeah, because I mean, there's also sometimes bets, side bets. There's other
exactly.
There's a lot. There's implications for others, or maybe actually, you know what? That reminds me of that time. It was Durr, I think, versus a guy, and there was huge bets, like millions on the line on like odds, and it was like Durr. It was crazy because Durr. It was in like a random event, right? It was like a big field event, and he was like an unknown, and like people were rated to lose like millions, and then they like took a break and they were talking, like it was very kind of like, you know, it's uneasy because I mean, I think they did play it out, and the guy actually beat him, I believe, right?
He did beat him. I don't know the part that they like actually discussed the deal, because as you said, that would be like really scummy. Like let's say
I don't know. I'm saying I don't know what they did or not. I'm just saying like there was a break. Obviously, they're playing. There's like a 15-minute scheduled break, and like if you're the one who has millions on the line, and you're like, these guys are, you know, you can't like hold their hand. They go to the bathroom or they walk behind the thing, and like, you know, obviously, you want to believe in integrity and all these things, but it's sort of like when you make these wagers, like it's a real nightmare. If you have a guy go heads up for like a long shot bet for big money, and then, you know, who knows if the bracelet's worth 500 grand and there's 8 million on the line, you know, it's a bit crazy. But that was kind of a legendary spot.
Yeah, it really was. I remember that too. I remember the tension and how everyone was rooting for the other guy. And I mean, I'm assuming Tom only made the bets with his friends or like people that trusted him to be like to make the morally right decisions, because obviously in that spot, like he could be just let's just say he gives the guy like $1 million to not or to like punt the ships. I mean, that's obviously like so scummy, but there's some scummy people in the poker world. So if you bet with someone in something like that, you really have to trust them,
right?
But yeah, he ended up losing, so I guess nothing happened.
There was no debate. I actually have a funny story where I don't want to give names, but the like reverse happened. I swear to you, I can't make this up. This is a true story. They got heads up, and this guy was like, I don't want to win because like where country he was from, he said like, you know, I don't want to have the winner photo, and I don't want to be like gambling this and that. And they chopped, so like nothing like scummy, right? Like he didn't like do a deal and then handshake and try to screw him, but he said he wanted to lose on purpose, and then he ended up winning. So like it sounds like he tricked him to win, although like he didn't do it for money, but like it sounds like he wanted to win the trophy and didn't think he could beat the guy, and he like agreed, like said he was going to do something, and then, you know, so which is kind of funny in itself, but it's like it just shows you, you know, you be careful too. And deal making, I think a lot of this, the different places don't necessarily facilitate the deal, right? Like I believe WSOP. So like you'd have to have something signed or done, and then you're, you know, if you don't know the person and it's a lot of money, you're taking a risk too. But yeah, anyway, that's it's a pretty funny story, and definitely, you know, it's part of it. It's part of what you do, right? You're a professional, you played a long time, you have respect in the industry, and these are spots where you get to capitalize, and spots where some EV, because you know, you have people are fearful of you, or just, you know, it is what it is, right? Someone's better than others, and they acknowledge that, and that's that. So there you go. So this is the art of the deal. Guys, keep that in mind if you ever get down to a final table, and know that you should be aware that there are deals possible, and you should be, you know, doing your best to get a good deal if you decide to do that. But what a score. This guy must have been so happy though, huh? To get 550K. I mean, like,
man, he was so nice. He was like the nicest. He hit me up later, like a few months later too. Like just I think he just got a daughter that like a week later or something. He was just like so nice and happy. And he was like, he really wanted to win though. Like after losing heads up, like I almost felt a bit bad because he wanted to win so badly. For like he had like the China flag with his friends. He was like repping his country and stuff.
Did he win a satellite or something, or what? We're just in Monaco. Like that's not, you know, you don't see. Look at the flags here. I mean, that's not a popular. Look at it. I mean, there's literally not. I don't think one other player from China that cashed.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. Like that's pretty random. Like what was he just? Did he say he was just over on holiday or something or?
No, I'm pretty sure he won. He did win a satellite. I think it was online on Stars. I feel like that's what happened, and he just. I think he only played the main when he got there, and then flew straight back. But yeah, I think afterwards he played a few more EPTs, but not much. But he messaged me a lot. He's just super nice guy, very kind person.
Yeah. Very cool. Yeah, that's one of the nice things about poker too. It's just sort of anyone on any given day, you string together a few good days. Even more impressive when it's a main event. Right. This was 6 days, 5 days playing against some really tough opponents. So cheers to him. Cheers to him on a good score. What's more exciting to you, a main event like this, where it's a 5K, smaller buy-in, bigger chance for ROI, or like a 25K event where there's maybe like a good 25K, say like 80 to 120 entries? What to you what gets you more excited and jazzed up? Because it's a completely different field. Skill ability, but also harder to win more people probably than even just based on math. So how do you approach the two?
I mean, I like both. Right now I'm really looking forward to like the big field, smaller or like 5K and less buy-ins. Like even like I'm gonna play like a 1K in Monte Carlo. I'm really really gonna have fun. I think maybe I'm gonna get bored after like an hour, but I really like these big fields where you can put pressure on people on the bubble and then like go deep, build like big towers, and then I'm really looking forward to that right now. I am most likely gonna play like 25Ks and bigger stuff in Monte Carlo as well. I believe it's like Monaco. I think it's the only one where it's like a 25K high roll instead of a 10K. I might be saying something wrong, but usually it's like a big 10K, and I think in Monaco it's a 25K instead. So it's like a bigger one than the standard 25K at EPTs. So yeah, that should be fun as well. But the main event is special, and generally like be it the Millions main event or EPT main event or WPT, I think they're all great, and I'm enjoying them a lot.
That's awesome. And you're at the WSOP. What'll be? Do you have a cutoff on buy-ins? Do you play? Will you play hundreds, 250s, 50s? Are you gonna play kind of everything, or just see how you feel? See how the field
Yeah,
is?
I'm gonna see how I feel. I don't think I'm gonna play many like really big tourneys this year. I haven't, as I said, I haven't been studying so much. I think there's a lot of people that got really good lately when I haven't really been playing or studying tournaments. So I would say I'd probably play up to 50, which is like seems like a reasonable buy-in. I'm probably not gonna play 100. Maybe I play some satellites to the 100 and then let that decide what's happening, or sell like a big piece. It's always an option too. But yeah, I don't know. I am, however, I do think I'm gonna play some Tritons in the future because I watched the streams lately and just got really fired up. I don't think I can do the next one. I think it's Madrid.
Yes.
I don't think I can go there. But yeah, there were talks about Bali and maybe some other spots. Hopefully later in the year. I'm not sure about if that's happening or not, but yeah, hopefully I can do the Triton stop. That would be my big buy-in week or 2 weeks.
For sure. Yeah, I was just in Cyprus for the Triton, did the commentary with Rast, who was first time seeing like him doing that. He was like, man, he wanted to hop in every day in the booth. He's like, yeah. It looks so fun and the action's good and people play fast and great.
Right.
Just they do a great job. So, and Madrid is the next one. I think they will have a PLO event as well, but they short deck and no limit and in a long series. It's like 2 weeks, like the 13th to the 25th, almost 2 weeks. So yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. I'm sure the field hopes you don't go, but if you do make it right before the WSOP, that is definitely going to be interesting. I've never been to Madrid. Have you been?
Yeah, I can't remember. It must have been a very long time ago. I think there was something small, like small tourney series or something. I was younger and played a little bit of cash there. But yeah, haven't been in forever. Yeah, it sounds like a great stop though. It's interesting choice. I didn't really expect it. But
yeah, and speaking of Cyprus, I did see Rob Young's tweet, and I had known this was likely happening. I didn't know the exact dates, but did you catch wind of this? That this is officially dated for the Cyprus stop? Have you seen this or no?
Yeah, I didn't. So it's in August, yeah, end of August. Yeah, I'm surely gonna go. Actually, it's really fun. It's easy to get there from here or from most places. and I really like Cyprus. It's like one of the spots, probably the spot where I've been the most times, maybe with Vegas. But I'm really liking it a lot. Yeah.
And you know, they do have a brand new tower. Did you see that being built at all? And that's going to be ready. It's 200
Yeah.
tables, man. It's got balconies. Like I saw it was like almost finished construction. Walk through it. It's pretty unbelievable. So I you know, they already have a nice. I like how they do it. Their poker room. It's pretty convenient how it is. The service, the food and stuff they have there, and drinks. You know, it's really fast and easy. And this is yeah, this is gonna be sweet. I think it'll be the premier destination in Europe. Obviously, Kings is good. You know, there's a lot of tables and it's big and they host big events, but I think that'll kind of be the two major venues. So that should be really cool. Tell me a little bit about your overall, like, you know, when you play, when you go to a stop, what do you generally like to do? Do you come in early? Do you get to see stuff? You know, a lot of the stops are the same, right? Like on the tour, it's over the years, there's a lot of similar stops. Would you say, you know, looking back, is there something that you would, do you spend enough time? Do you get to see all the sites, or do you kind of just go lock in and play when you go to places?
Yeah, that also changed a little. It also depends a lot on stuff. So I think there's like almost any spot I've been to at least a few times by now already. So it's nothing like really new coming up. Maybe if I decide to go to South Africa or something where I haven't been yet, that would be something different. But in general, I know the cities where the tournaments are. In Monaco, I've been like a lot of times. Also very close to where my parents live, so spend a lot of time there already. And then yeah, it just depends. I mean, like if it's going perfectly, I would go out. I would explore the city. If it's like party stop, often they have a lot of stuff going on. Like it's just on you if you join them or not. Like sightseeing stuff. Even stars, like they're doing not just the parties, but they're also doing like stuff in the city where you can see the sights and explore a little. So yeah, I've done a lot of that in the past. Brazil would be like a good example where I haven't been so often, but then like really made an effort to like see as much as possible while I was there. And in Monaco, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna leave the hotel so much, but I'm gonna do like a lot of dinners with friends or just catching up, meeting them. Maybe some sports. There's a lot of people who like to play football, or Padel is coming up a lot. So maybe we do that a lot.
Padel, like the back wall, outdoor back wall Padel.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh man, that's fun. I got courts outside my house. I love that. It's literally, I think, the most fun thing. I've heard it's getting popular in Europe as well. So
everywhere, it's insane. Like here in Dubai, they build like there's one right next to here as well, and everywhere they have these courts. And so many poker players or other people just playing and inviting me. Like there's so many group chats going on right now, just for that. It's a lot of fun. It's very easy to learn. Like I'm decent at most racket sports, I would say, already. But this one is very new to me, and I've played maybe like 5-6 times now. But I'm really enjoying it a lot.
And what about pickle? Do you ever play pickleball, or mostly just padel? Is it not so much pickleball over there?
What's the exact? I've only played Padel, but I'm not sure about the difference.
It's like a wiffle ball, and it's it's like you generally play 2-on-2. It's a tennis court, shorter, like almost I want to say half the size of a tennis court, so it's a little less running, but it's really fun. And you play similar, very similar game, but no walls, and it's a wiffle ball, but it's good exercise, and I think it's a little easier for old. Like it's just I would say going from pickle to padel to tennis, right? You just have to, like tennis, you cover a lot of ground. It's, if the skill discrepancy is going to be much bigger. I mean, it's like probably playing like 100 big blind poker, 50 blind and like 10 blind, like turbo. Right. You know, it's just like the skill gap's different and different for different people, but it's close. It's the fastest growing sport in America, pickleball. I know that, and paddle's probably right near it. You know, it's becoming very popular as well. All right, one of the last things I want to ask you is about advice to people in poker. Like, if someone's coming in right now, it's so hard to compare because you came in around the same time as me, right? Someone coming into poker, the game's different now. Obviously, depending on what part of your life and where you're at is, but what would be some like advice you would give to someone who wants to start playing poker? What would be some things you could maybe tell them based on either something you've learned or experiences, or just looking back, that you would suggest to help people kind of ease in to the game of poker?
Yeah, I mean, like, I think like most things in life, the networking part, or just like joining as many discords, as many, like just talking to people in live stops, like exchanging numbers or whatever, and just like talking and meeting as many people as possible, and then just like asking them questions, or just, yeah, I mean, just like be like very straightforward, like not annoy annoy people with text every day, but just yeah, build a big network and ask, like, don't be afraid to ask people for like advice or for help with the studying, or like even if they, I don't know, if you need recommendations on which like courses to buy or something, you can always just put out a tweet and like tag some people. Obviously, I mean, the tagging goes a bit overboard right now with all the bots, but in general, I think like famous or like people that you've seen on TV, you should really not be scared to approach them and just ask for help when you're really new, because yeah, it's a lot different now. There's so many established groups or like small crews in poker. It's tough. It's tough to join. It's tough to be like a new poker player, I think, right now. So either you do it with like a good friend of yours and you study together all the time, but I think you should just, yeah, ask for help as much as possible.
Yeah, it's great advice. And what would be your I say last one, but I can't help myself. Last one. What's your biggest takeaway? What is maybe you're most grateful for in poker? Either something that, it's applied to you in real life, skill sets you've learned, and just sort of overall, like what are you most thankful and grateful for, and what has poker given to you?
Yeah, I mean, I think the obvious answer for most people, of me at least, is like don't sweat the results as much as like make good decisions. Like it's everywhere. Like in business, I think poker players in general have like a big advantage when they start, even like crypto or whatever. There's so many like hedge funds or finance people that I meet, and they just can't handle losing. Like they can't just like they get so tilted when they have like a downswing or like a made one mistake, or not even a mistake. If they just like if they lose money, they think they should have done something different. Like not just finance people, just like people in general that are not in poker. And then I feel like it's just, if you do it for like 12 years or whatever, you're just so used to not sweat the results. And it happens in poker, like it happens to everyone. Still, that if you lose a flip or whatever, you think like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have taken that spot or whatever. But it's silly. Like really just make an effort to make as many good decisions as possible, and then the money and the success will come eventually.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, just like, again, just hitting home that point, I think that's so key. And it's, I don't think it is obvious to most, or even, I think it's like obvious when you hear it, but just thinking about it, not being results oriented, because every single day, literally all day long, this happens, right? Like stuff happens, something weird happens, or whatever, right? Like you can't be the result. You do your best, try to stick to your plan, stick to a routine, stick to different things, but stuff happens. There's going to be days where things get curveballs, family life, personal things. Like it's like I think that really is something that inherently, whether if you play poker at any level, whether you're a winning or losing player, I think you kind of inherently get better with that, right? Like some people are going to tilt, some people are not going to handle things so well, but I think it does kind of condition you to understand, when you're taking ace king to ace queen, when you're losing flips, two outers, good or bad, like you kind of start understanding that there is an element of luck and things are in life, right, that you can't control. And so then if you kind of take that Buddhist or that mindset where you just realize like some things aren't in your control, you make the best decisions and the results are what they are. My dad always told me it's not about, that you should win as if you expect it and lose if you like it. Like this is sort of, it's not about what happens, it's how you react to it. And I think a lot of times some of the biggest lessons and learnings are like the worst, when it feels like the worst thing or something that's so bad or you can't believe happens, there's generally like a silver lining or something that comes of it, or there's, you can find positives or ways that that it shifts your life in a different way. So yeah, I think that is just something inherently poker players get to kind of get that skill as the more you play and more discipline you get. But I like how you worded it, and I think that is a big one that many people don't realize in the moment, that's something that's good. I mean, that's why I hear arguments about teaching poker in school. Of course, gambling, it's a bit tricky, right? Like it's like a little too, it's that, chess and backgammon, although people do gamble in theory for that, right? That's sort of like a more I guess, respected sort of thing. But really the life lessons and things, I think some college courses do have poker or they use it in game theory and they talk about it. But yeah, listen, it's a beautiful game. I know we both are very grateful and thankful for it. And obviously there's some things that got brought up recently and there's been a little bit of shade thrown at it, but this is just normal. This is how it goes. There's ebbs and flows. And sometimes, ultimately the cream rises to the top, and poker is here to stay. And I think there's a lot of a bright future for poker live and online. And there's always new formats and new games, right? There's PLO, there's short deck, there's mixed games, there's 5-card, there's 6-card high-low. Like ultimately people love poker and I don't think it's going anywhere, whatever that is. I'm here. I saw, I think Neil Farrell, if I pronounce his name right, like talking about, they have mystery brownies now. There should be like progressive mystery brownies. Like there's going to be new formats, right? Like they're just going to be new, exciting things. People love to play. It's like, it's not going anywhere. Give me a break. Poker is here to stay. So, all right. Well, Manig, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. I do want to remind everyone that they can follow him. There he is, Swordfish007 on Twitter and on Instagram. He's got some cool stuff and get to follow along a little bit. Look at that. Looks like he is wifed up. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, it's gender neutral these days. There's the world, but ladies in particular, if you're watching, he is not on the table, right? I assume there's some pictures. You're off the market, right? This is a male predominant show, but we gotta clarify. I want to put it out there. Is it? Can you clarify?
Yeah, no, I should delete the pictures to be fair. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's why you asked. So, ladies, apparently there's a shot. You have a shot. So, all right. Well, Manig, man, I appreciate the time. Thank you so much. Good luck in Monaco. Hope to see you in Vegas. And I guess worst case, latest, I'll see you at the MPP, I believe. Is that? I don't know. There's always acronyms and abbreviations. Let's just take one more look at this. This is this will be the MPP, Mediterranean Poker Party, not to be confused with Party Poker, Poker Party at Merit Poker in Cyprus. I think we'll see each other there, if not before, man. All the best to you. Crush Monaco. Good luck. And we'll see you out there, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for having me. It was a lot of fun.
Cheers, guys. That was Manig Loeser, and that is number 9, Coin Rivet. We'll see you next week.